Hi guys, today we're going to react to 6 Feet Deep by The Warning. This is a Buy Me a Coffee request from Dan W60. Thank you, Dan, for bringing us back to The Warning and for all your ongoing support. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Dan. As always, we appreciate the ongoing support. You've been absolutely amazing and continue to be so. Firstly, it's awesome to hear The Warning again. It's been a while, and as soon as they started, it just brings you right back to that spot. Just fantastic rock. I love it. Kicks ass. This one is sort of a fast-paced one, like most of their stuff, which I really enjoy. Sort of a horror film theme to the music video, which kind of took me back to Freeze the Fall's VHS.
VHS.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one was made first. And it's not like one copies the other or anything. It's just kind of reminded of that, but then it goes somewhere else. Always fantastic. They sound awesome. Another gorgeous song from them.
Yeah, I had Freeze the Fall vibes from the style of the video as well, especially with that ancient TV set. We can call it ancient now.
And the VHS tape.
Yeah, of course, the VHS tape. And I also had vibes from Poltergeist. They poltergeized this music video. I don't think I would invite exorcists or supernatural specialists to my house if my house was haunted by The Warning. I love it so far.
When you're choking on my name, 'cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. Got you figured out, can't get any lower now, 'cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. We're all seeing black now. Meet your maker and bow down. Ooh, but you pray to your God till you chewed up his pound. So what you gonna say when you're choking on my name? 'Cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. Got you figured out, can't get any lower now, 'cause it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. I'll be seeing you underground.
Very cool.
Beautiful. Daniela's Oh no, they're here. To the notion that I had from the possible meaning of the lyrics, I think the last shot where whatever went under the floor and the clothes stuck to the ceiling, that cemented what I had in mind. I think the song deals with the fleeting nature of life and how it's very short and we don't have much time here, and doesn't matter what possessions we think we accumulate, we don't take anything to the grave. That's why the shot where the clothes get stuck to the ceiling brought, you go 6 feet deep and that's it. You take nothing with you to the afterlife. I think that's what they mean there. And the song promotes just living your life to the fullest and embracing a fearless approach towards life, pursuing your dreams, because we're all headed for the same place. And there's something morbid and scary and very truthful about it in a way that dishes it out to you regardless of your state of mind. As long as you're a rational person, as long as you can understand the gravity of things, you can understand the message from the song, if that's what they're actually talking about. This is just my interpretation. I love the way they structure it. I love the references to 1980s horror films. There are references there, I think, that have to do with the Nightmare on Elm Street and, like I said, the earlier Poltergeist. I love all the references. It's a very good experience.
When watching the video clip, I tried to separate that from the song because as I was following the lyrics, I got a sense that the video clip, while it's fun and everything, and I really enjoyed it, it's not so much to portray the meaning of the song. Exactly. And that's because of all, like you said, ton of references for horror films. But from the lyrics, I kind of got something else. It seemed like a very personal message here. It's basically aimed at someone who has been in some way abusing the narrator. And I think the abuse here is basically somebody who has been holding something over the narrator, like I am better than you and that's it, some kind of like a god complex. And I got that from the early lines of the song that says, what if I'm selfish, everyone else is. You're not a product of God. Quit telling yourself this, but it's expected because you always come back over and over again. So I felt like it's like we're all a product of God, but you're not because you think you are God. That's kind of what I got from it, and it felt personal because of all the lines that later on came in, which is basically saying you're out, we're done. And when saying that to someone who's been holding something over you for so long, you want to be a little bit mean, aggressive, but it's way too late. Nothing left to hate. Such a bitter taste. What a shame. That little thing came towards the end. But before that, it was all prodigal son. I know you felt this. Feeding your pride. Put your ego where your mouth is. It's countless how many times you pushed me over again. So that's what I got from it. I got that there is some kind of an abusive relationship happening here, even if it's just kind of psychological abuse. And it's someone who's finally found the courage or a way to separate themselves from this abuser. And as I said before, they sounded absolutely fantastic. There's something that always sounds personal with the sisters. They attack the song, and they did it here as well. I'm not sure if how I feel about the song is correct or not, but that's what it sounded like to me, and I loved it.
Yeah, I think I like your interpretation because it's something that I felt in the music video itself and the way that the girls were presented. I wouldn't be surprised if this personal story has to do particularly with Daniela, because it felt like both Paulina and Alejandra were giving her the stage. They weren't active characters in the portrayal of the music video. They were active, of course, they were doing their part, but it was Daniela's rant. That's what it felt like.
Oh, you mean like her venting? Kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it that felt personal. I know that they're all involved in the songwriting, so this comes from all of them. But yeah, the idea might have come from one, and it could have been Daniela, it could have been Paulina, maybe. I don't know. It's just something about it really rang like it's a personal thing, and they needed to get it out. And as always, like I said, they sound absolutely fantastic. Every song of theirs, I love. Yeah. There hasn't been one song where I thought, oh, that's a bit below par. The videos are cool and interesting, and they've quickly become one of our favorite bands. And then for some reason, the requests kind of died down a bit for them, so we haven't done them in a while. And it's absolutely amazing to be back.
Yeah, and it's also curious to me, if I'm considering that this is a personal story of some sort of toxic relationship, It's also curious to think what kind of a relationship. Was it a professional relationship that has to do with their music? Was it a childhood relationship with a family member? Was it a romantic relationship? Because you can't really make it out from the lyrics themselves.
Kind of guessing from the music video, I would say that it's something that was going on for a long time from childhood, just because of the way the characters were shown in there. And it felt like it was about something, someone that they kind of wanted to punish.
Now that you mention it, you can visibly see the instruments in the girls' rooms, in the teenage girls' rooms. So if it has to do with their childhood, it's interesting to think that it might have to do with their inclination towards music making at an early age, and possibly somebody who was standing in the way of that, or somebody who was judgmental towards them. We talked about before, when kids at a young age show interest in music, their surroundings won't always support that, because it's it's 1 in a million. It's very hard to become a successful musician. So those pitfalls and judgmental way of looking at a young child who wants to become a musician, I think it's a common scenario. So that also makes me think maybe it has to do something with that.
Well, in the past, I think we've kind of covered the fact that their parents were very supportive, kind of cultivated, helped them come to, I guess, the realization of what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it, and helped provide everything they needed for that. So there were other songs where I think we heard in the comments things we couldn't quite guess from the lyrics, but there were issues with friendships. They had friends that didn't like the way, the direction they were going, or the fact that they were devoting all this time to their dream and not to the friendships, and maybe jealousy and this and that and the other. And I think maybe this is one of those, or perhaps a few, or even just a generalization of that, where people kind of were telling them, oh, you're never going to get anywhere. This is all a pipe dream, blah, 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 that kind of thing, trying to basically dissuade them from going in this direction, whereas they decided to ignore that and kept working on their craft. So the line there, but you pray to your God till you're chewed up and spat out. And this is maybe what they feel like they've done. We chewed you up and spat you out because look at where we are now. In the end, we're all going to go to the same place. So 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. But between now and then, probably not going to see you. And they say, because it's over. Got you figured out, can't get any lower now because it's over. 6 feet deep, I'll be seeing you underground. I think that's kind of what it's describing. It's like, we're all going to end up in the same place. We're all going 6 feet deep in the end, but I'm not going to see you between now and then. I'll see you then. So it's like saying we're kind of separating, but it's a very definite kind of thing until then.
Yeah, when you said, but you pray to your God, it kind of made me think, I don't know how it was looked at, but if they came from a Christian religious background, then maybe playing rock and roll was frowned upon by their close friends or community. That's what that line prompted. And I got you figured out makes me think maybe it means I figured out the fallacy in your judgmental approach towards me and how it doesn't mean anything and we're all, like you said, headed to the same place, so I'm just going to do me. Or I got you figured out, maybe it means that you always had sinister intentions. Your judgment wasn't for my benefit. You were just jealous, or you were just critical because you saw me doing something that I love.
Yeah, got you figured out. You're not a real friend. As always, just a very well-written song that always ignites a conversation here. Fantastic rock, just an ass-kicking song. Loved it. Thank you, Dan W60, for another awesome request, for bringing us back to The Warning. We love this band and we love your requests as always. Keep them coming. Thank you so much for all the ongoing support.
Thanks, Dan, for The Warning request. We enjoyed reacting to this song very much. More of The Warning will be much appreciated, and thank you for all your ongoing support. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you'll get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make a request through BuyMeACoffee. The link is at the top of the description below. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
As always, our The Warning Reactions playlist should be up on the screen sometime about now. Give it a click, check them out. Amazing band. We're sure you're going to love it. Thank you so much for all the support coming our way. We appreciate you oh so much. We'll be back in a couple of days with a new episode. We hope to see you all then. Thanks again, guys. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.